势力范围，不同任何国家打冷战、热战。
Magandang araw mga ka-aerial defense, may ibabahagi na naman ako sa inyo dahil ngayong araw na ito ay may bagay tayong pag-uusapan. Amerika at Pilipinas pinag-usapan ang plano sa West Philippine Sea, pero bago tayo magpatuloy wag mo muna kalimutan mag-like, share, and subscribe, paki-follow at like muna ng aming page na nasa description na ang link. Sinabi ni Pangulong Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. na ang kanyang pakikipagpulong kay US Vice President Kamala Harris ay nakasentro ang Pilipinas sa sitwasyon sa West Philippine Sea.
We had a meeting with Vice President Kamala Harris before the beginning of the APEC conference. And we just generally chatted about the issue. He was very interested to know what our assessment was on the situation in the West Philippine Sea. And I just went through the narrative of what had happened in the past few months. And we tried to discuss some of the ways forward. And I think that generally speaking, especially after my meeting with President Xi, which I'm going to have sometime today, after that we'll put together the ways forward because we are continuously trying to maintain the peace. And now that's what I see the mission of the Philippines, the Philippine Coast Guard, the Philippine military, our fishermen, all of us. Is our basic fundamental mission here is to maintain the peace. And that is essentially what we discussed. And again, we will get the view of the Chinese president on what we can do to bring down the temperature, to not escalate the situation in the West Philippine Sea. And we will put all of these together so as we'll be able to strategize for the near future on what the Philippines' role will be, or what is the proper Philippines role in the West Philippines.
Habang ginagawa ng bansa ang lahat ng pagsisikap upang mapanatili ang kapayapaan sa rehiyon, binigyang diin ni Pangulong Marcos na patuloy na sinisikap ng Pilipinas na mapanatili ang kapayapaan sa rehiyon sa tulong ng Philippine Coast Guard, militar ng Pilipinas, at ng buong pamahalaan. Sinabi ni Pangulong Marcos na kukunin niya ang pananaw ni Pangulong Xi sa pagpupulong at tatalakayin kung ano ang maaring gawin para pababain ang tensyon, para hindi palakihin ang sitwasyon sa West Philippine Sea. Sa pakikipagpulong ng Pangulo kay Harris, muling pinagtibay ng dalawang lider ang lakas ng alyansa ng Pilipinas at US, at inulit ang kanilang ibinahaging pangako na itaguyod ang mga internasyonal na alituntunin at pamantayan, kabilang ang South China Sea. Si Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos Jr. at Chinese President Xi Jinping, nakatakdang magpulong at talakayin ang issue sa West Philippine Sea ang pangunahing tatalakayin. Nangako ang Pilipinas at Estados Unidos na pabilisin ang pagpapatupad ng mga proyekto ng Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, ginawa ni Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro Jr. at US counterpart Lloyd Austin III, ang pangako sa kanilang pagpupulong sa Jakarta, Indonesia noong Miyerkules sa sideline ng ASEAN Defense Ministers Meeting Plus. Napansin din ni Teodoro at Austin ang pag-usad ng mga proyekto ng EDCA sa bansa, kabilang ang pagkumpleto ng bagong inayos na runway sa Basa Air Bases sa Florida Blanca, Pampanga, na parehong pinakamalaking bilateral na proyektong militar ng dalawang bansa hanggang sa kasalukuyan. Ang mga kalihim ay binigyang diin ang kamakailang pag-unlad na ginawa ng dalawang bansa upang gawing makabago ang alyansa, pahusayin ang interoperability, at tugunan ang mga bago at umuusbong na mga banta. Sabi ng joint press statement nina Austin at Teodoro, tinanggap nila ang pag-unlad sa pagpapatupad ng Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, kabilang ang kamakailang pagkumpleto ng $24 million na upgrade sa runway sa Basa Airbase, at nangako na pabilisin pa ang pagpapatupad ng EDCA. Dagdag nito, sa ngayon, may 9 na natukoy na EDCA sites sa buong bansa. Ang mga EDCA site na ito ay nasa loob ng mga base militar ng Pilipinas, kung saan pinapayagan ang mga puwersa ng US na umikot at mag-imbak ng mga kagamitan at supply ng depensa. Hinikayat naman ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte ang China at iba pang mga bansa na claimants sa ilang rehiyon ng West Philippine Sea, na magkaroon ng diplomatikong kasunduan sa pamamagitan ng United Nations sa halip na patuloy itong mag-away-away. Sa isang pahayag, binigyang diin ni Duterte na hindi solusyon ang tunggalian at hindi kailanman magiging mas magandang opsyon para malutas ang issue tungkol sa West Philippine Sea. Sinabi ni Duterte na palaging mayroong arbitration, kung saan maaring lutisin ng lahat ang usapin sa ibang mga bansa sa isang bargaining table. Dagdag pa niya, maaari nilang ibahagi o hatiin ang West Philippine Sea kung ito ay mabuti.
Yeah, the suggestion of the recall of an ambassador is too abrupt and
Too harsh.
too harsh. That's the right word. Abrupt and too harsh, and it would do no good. In the end, it would pagkatapos nito mag-usap pa rin eh.
Yes, ma'am.
So, better to just initiate a diplomatic dito sa baba to start initiatives of and look for ways of finding the right contacts, the right people to talk para mapapag-usapan at maayos to.
Sa isang nakaraang forum sa Singapore, binalaan ni Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong ang mga Pilipino at tinanong kung sila ay kumpiyansa sa pagsali sa isang digmaan kung saan sila ay magiging battleground. Ginawa ni Lee ang pahayag bilang tugon sa mga katanungan tungkol sa tumitinding tensyon sa West Philippine Sea. Sumang-ayon ang dating punong ehekutibo sa pahayag ng punong ministro ng Singapore. Binigyang diin niya ang kahalagahan ng pagpapanatili ng kapayapaan at katatagan sa West Philippine Sea na inaangkin ng bansang China. Sinabi naman ng China na hindi sila magsisimula ng armadong pag-atake sa anumang bansa.
无论今后发展到哪一步，我们都永远不称霸、不扩张、不强加于人、不谋求势力范围，不同任何国家打冷战、热战。
Sinabi ni Pangulong Xi Jinping, pagkatapos ng mataas na stakes summit kay US President Joe Biden noong Miyerkules. Sina Biden at Xi ay sumang-ayon sa kanilang summit sa California na pasiglahin ang isang relasyon na nahirapan nitong mga nakaraang taon at upang palakasin ang direktang komunikasyon sa pagitan ng dalawang leader. Sinabi ni Xi na nais ng China na patuloy na pahusayin ang relasyon nito sa Washington at tiniyak sa kanyang mga host sa US na ang kanyang bansa ay hindi naghahanap ng komprontasyon sa sinuman. Nilagdaan naman ng Pilipinas noong Biyernes ang Breakthrough 123 Agreement sa pakikipagtulungan ng nuclear energy sa United States.
We see nuclear energy becoming a part of the Philippine energy mix by 2032. And we would be more than happy to pursue this path with the United States as one of our partners. The signing of the Philippine-United States Agreement for Cooperation concerning peaceful uses of nuclear energy, or the 123 Agreement, is the first major step in this regard, taking our cooperation on capacity building further and actually opening the doors for U.S. companies to invest and participate in nuclear power projects in the country. I look forward to seeing this agreement in action in the years to come. Nuclear energy is one area where we can show that the Philippines-U.S. alliance and partnership truly works for our peoples, our economies, and the environment.
Mr. President, it is an honor to be with you again. Thank you for your presence this evening, and thank you especially for your leadership on so many of the goals that we share in common for the Indo-Pacific, the region that we share. Secretary Lotilla, Secretary Manalo, Ambassador Moldez, thanks to each of you for your partnership in bringing our nations to this moment. More than 70 years ago, the Philippines and the United States forged an alliance based on the shared interests and values of our people. And in the decades since, we've consistently expanded our partnership to meet the biggest challenges that our people face. Today, we take another step to do that by deepening our cooperation to accelerate the transition to clean energy in the Philippines. President Marcos has set an ambitious goal, cutting the Philippines' greenhouse gas emissions by 75% by 2030, and increasing the production of clean energy so that 50% comes from renewable sources by the year 2040. The United States is committed to working with the Philippines so that it can meet those targets. Using platforms like the very first U.S.-Philippines Energy Policy Dialogue, which we hosted in Seattle back in August. The United States is working with the American and Philippine private sectors to develop a geothermal power project in Mindanao, We're helping to lay the groundwork for offshore wind projects so that we'll ultimately generate enough electricity to power 2 million homes. We're mobilizing additional investments from American and Philippine power companies with the aim of providing more than half of the Philippines' energy usage through clean sources, like solar, by the year 2026. With the Philippines' leadership, we're also working together to develop a nuclear energy sector in their country to fuel a reliable, secure, and affordable clean energy future. As peak energy demands are expected to nearly quadruple in the Philippines by 2040, nuclear power can consistently produce enough energy to meet communities' critical needs without emitting more greenhouse gases. In a nation of more than 7,000 islands, small modular reactors, some just the size of a city bus, can generate energy locally and conveniently. Nuclear energy will also create inclusive economic opportunities for American and Filipino businesses alike, and good quality, high-paying jobs in both of our countries. All of these are reasons why today we're signing this 123 agreement to create a framework for our civil nuclear cooperation. When Vice President Harris visited the Philippines last November, she announced that we were starting to develop this arrangement. So just 1 year later, we're signing the agreement. And that is the fastest that the United States has ever negotiated this kind of agreement. It is a testament to two things: to the high priority that this issue is for both of our countries, and to how closely we're collaborating. And I just want to echo the gratitude, Mr. President, to your extraordinary team for the work that we've been able to do in such a short period of time. When this agreement goes into effect, the United States will be able to share equipment and material with the Philippines as they work to develop small modular reactors and other civilian nuclear energy infrastructure. And will do so while following the highest standards of safety and security, and while complying with our international non-proliferation commitments. Already, we've organized workshops, we've hosted exchanges on these topics with American and Filipino researchers, officials, business leaders, to help train local experts and to share some of our best practices. Now, there's a lot of work that remains ahead to turn this vision into concrete reality, but by signing this agreement today, we're moving a step closer toward shaping a better future for our planet and building a world that's more secure, more prosperous, more stable for all of our people. And with that, I'm very happy to turn over to Secretary Latilla. Thank you very, very much.
Ang 123 Agreement o ang Peaceful Nuclear Cooperation Agreement ay nagbibigay ng legal na batayan para payagan ang mga kumpanya sa Amerika na mag-export ng nuclear fuel, reactors, equipment, at iba pang espesyal na nuclear material sa Pilipinas. Sinaksihan ni Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos Jr. ang paglagda ng kasunduan sa sideline ng Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit dito. Sa kanyang talumpati, sinabi niya na ang kasunduan ay magsisiguro ng isang mas ligtas na enerhiya sa Pilipinas. Sinuportahan ni US Ambassador to the Philippines Mary Kay Carlson ang pahayag ni Marcos noong Oktubre, na nagsabing maraming American nuclear technology firms ang napaka-interesado sa investment sa Pilipinas ngunit nag-aalangan dahil sa kawalan ng 123 agreement. Para sa mas madaming update tungkol sa ating defense, abangan lamang ang aking mga bagong video. Para naman sa mga gusto magpa-shoutout, mag-comment lamang po at share, paki-follow at like muna ng aming page na nasa description na ang link. Huwag mo na rin kalimutan mag-like, share, and subscribe. Pindutin mo na rin ang bell para updated kayo sa aking mga video. Maraming salamat po.